All right, friends, please take your seat. Open up your prayer book. We're on page 24.
Shabbat Shalom energy is started, everybody.
We're on page 24 in our prayer books. If you're watching, let's welcome in the Shabbat angels this evening with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malchi Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malchi Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Yai Rai Rai, Borechem L'Shalom. בחוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. יאי די די צאתכם Shalom, Malachi, Shalom, Malachi, Elyon, Melech, Malchi, Malchi, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malchi Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malchi Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu.
Thank you, Cantor Koyo. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. And Shabbat Shalom and Mazel Tov to Samson and his parents, to Janine and Michael and brothers Maxwell and Jacob and all the family that has joined this evening. And this weekend, as we say, the train has left the station. So it is bar mitzvah all the way. Not only is Samson going to become a bar mitzvah tomorrow, which makes all of us so proud, it is a special Shabbat. It is one of the Shabbatot in the month of Elul. We have assigned growth kind of aspirations for each Shabbat in Elul of the time when we prepare for the high holy days. And this Shabbat is KAPER, as in KAPER lanu, grant us atonement, and to where we're looking at ourselves and seeing how we can really reach out to those people that we may have left behind somehow and bring them closer into our lives. So we're going to join together on a reading in page 6, which makes sure we don't leave anybody, that everybody comes with us on our journey. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship together. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. We are continuing with Asher Yatzar. Please turn to your song sheet.
Help me realize I am beautiful and whole. I'm perfect the way I am, a little broken too. I will live each day as a gift I give to you.
Join with us. These words come from our morning liturgy. It's an expression of saying we're not perfect, but in doing so, being super vulnerable. I got to spend time this week with a member of our community who was really sick, and we cried together, just cried and let our hearts crack open. And I thought that's what this time of year is all about, allowing ourselves to cry with someone, to let someone see what we're really going through. And when we do that, we get to dwell in God's house and sing this song on your song sheet, the words of Echad Sha'alti. When we are vulnerable, God, we get to live in your house with light shining through. Please join with us. Echad Sha'alti me'et Adonai, me'et Adonai, hotza avakish. 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 One thing I ask, one thing I desire, to be in the house of God all the days of my life. Echad Sha'alti me'et Adonai, שהייתי בבית אדוני כל ימי חיי, לחזור בנועם אדוני ולבקר בחלום. אחת שאהבתי מאת אדוני, מאת אדוני אותה אבקש. אחת שאהבתי מאת אדוני, מאת אדוני אותה אבקש. אחת שאהבתי מאת אדוני, מאת אדוני אותה אבקש. אחת שאהבתי מאת אדוני, מאת אדוני אותה אבקש.
Our rabbis tell this story that on Shabbat, two angels come to every household. One is a good angel and one is a bad angel. And they say that if everything looks good, the table is set, the candles are lit, the household is peaceful, that the good angel says, and let it be so next week. And the bad angel has to say,
Amen.
she knows this one. And we're told that if the house is a mess and the family's yelling at each other, that the bad angel says, and let it be so next week. And the good angel says, Amen. I share this because tonight we are talking about recovery. And it is just so hard to change. It is so hard to change our patterns, to change the way that we react to the world. And that's really what this whole time period is about, is taking a moment to pull back and to say, wait, I can react in a different way. It's funny, this story, it's supposed to tell us to do good and to, have this beautiful Shabbat, but it almost seems self-defeating. And so tonight, let's have a beautiful Shabbat, and we'll all say Amen. And you know what? We'll keep working on ourselves, and every week it'll get better and better. So we're going to welcome our Sabbath bride with Lecha Dodi, page 20.
Ya la 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 lecha dodi, ya la 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 likra kala, ya la 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 pnei Shabbat nikabe, ya la 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 lecha dodi, ya la 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 likra kala, ya la 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 pnei Shabbat, pnei Shabbat. שמור וזכור בדיבורך השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשמו תפארת ולתהילה יאי לי לי יא לה 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 לך דודי יא לה 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 לקרא כלה יא לה 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 פני שבת שבת פני שבת לקרא לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשי במחשבה kala boi kala lecha dodi likra kala penei shabane kabela lecha dodi likra kala penei shabane kabela.
You can be seated. I'm going to invite Samson. Samson, come on up. Samson up, and along with his parents, Janine and Michael, and his brothers, Maxwell and Jacob, come on up. But I just have to quell for a moment because Samson was rocking out in the front row, singing all the words. It just makes me so proud. We're so excited to celebrate with you this weekend. Janine, I'm going to invite you to light our candles.
And as we light the Shabbat candles this evening, we think about our intention for the Shabbat. Breathe in all the goodness and breathing out everything we want to leave behind. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להליק של שבת. We are on page 5 in our prayer books.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikara lemase bereshit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat.
L'chaim.
You can bring it to your feet. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. We are so excited. Come sit next to Rabbi Kleppy.
I'm going to ask
bring
everyone
Samson
to
back up for the
please
Via Hafta.
turn back to your song sheets. Our rabbis give us this opportunity between our opening Kabbalat Shabbat prayers and the heart of our service. They give us this opportunity called Chatzi Kaddish. It's a prayer that separates. Our ancestors didn't speak Hebrew, they spoke Aramaic when they dealt with their business. And so this was the one prayer that was in their vernacular. So I thought tonight, why not sing a song in our own vernacular in English as we separate the beginning Kabbalat Shabbat songs with the heart of our service. And this is a prayer written by Dan Nichols all about just counting our blessings around us and being proud of our accomplishments and sealing it in with an amen. So I'm going to teach you the chorus first. It's just, and let us say amen. Let all all of us say, let all of us join our voices in praise. It sounds like this. And let us say, Amen. You try that. Try that with me. And let us say, Amen. Listen. And let us say, Amen. You try the second, and let us say. Let's try that. Let us say, and let us say, Amen. Let's try the whole thing together. Sounds so beautiful. And let us say,
Amen.
and let us say, Amen. Take a look at the words. May your wonder be celebrated. May your name be consecrated. May your brilliance never fade from the magnificent world you made. May your ways prevail in our own days, in our own lives, and in the life of all Israel. And let us say, Amen. And let us say, Amen. I love this song so much because it is the way that we would talk to a small child. Your brilliance never fades. What if we were to talk to ourselves and say that to ourselves? May your brilliance never fade. May you see the beauty you give this world. May your name receive the same beauty that you bring. Though you are far beyond the sweetest songs we could ever sing. And let us say, Amen. And let us say, Amen. And let us say, Amen. And let us say, Amen.
Please rise for our call to worship, page 28.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Leolam Va'ed. We turn now to our song sheets one more time for the words of Listen. Song written by my colleague Doug Hotler. These words are a preamble for our Shema tonight, that those times when things are difficult, that we all need that moment of a lullaby to protect us. If you're lost, you feel afraid, and you don't know what to say, then listen to our God. Is there a question on our mind? Is the answer hard to find? Then listen to our God.
be seated as we invite Samson back up to lead us in the Via Hafta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך וחיות הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך וחיו לטוטפו בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem emet.
You just see how excited the whole family must be. I know I am for Samson. So we like to joke around in the clergy suite that we give like mini sermons before the Michamocha every week.
It's like the one prayer everyone knows what it's about.
But in particular on a recovery Shabbat where we're thinking about everything we're leaving behind. It couldn't fit more. The beautiful thing about the Michamocha is it is our victory song. You know, finally escaping slavery, finally knowing we are free, finally getting out of that horrible situation, and we break out spontaneously into song. I think of it like, you know, when you're singing a musical. But then after that, right, we start to complain. And after that, we're bored. And after that, we're unhappy. And after that, we start to talk about how good it was back in Egypt. You know, we wait for these moments, but if we don't deal with the scars, if we don't deal with the recovery, we never fully move past that place. And so as we sing Michamocha, I invite you to think about what you truly want to let go and allow yourself that gift to let go, at least for Shabbat. Page 40.
ונאמר כי ברא אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני Israel.
Now we have a special treat tonight. We have another chazan, another cantor in the congregation. So I want to invite up Chazan Abe Mizrahi to come join us on the bima. We are on page 44. He's a long way to come. So as he's coming, I'm just having this chazan in the congregation in particular is like a little bit being starstruck for me. This is someone who I really look up to, and it is such an honor to have you. He's part of the bar mitzvah family, and there's something we call in the cantor world chazanis, and it's this art of being able to improvise and sing cantorial music, and this guy is chazanis. So come on up, sing with us. Yismechu.
Yeah, I should. I don't know.
This is what we do to each other.
Oh, yeah. You start.
What key do
You start.
What key do you like to
ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי, שומרי, שומרי שבת, קורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי, שומרי, שומרי שבת, קורא עונג שבת.
מקדשי שבי שבת.
עם ישמחו ויתענגו מטובך שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי, שומרי, שומרי שבת, וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי, שומרי, שומרי שבת, וקורא עונג שבת.
והשביעי רצית בו, רצית בו וקידשת שבת.
שבת יראת ימים, אותו קראת שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי, שומרי, שומרי שבת, וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי, שומרי, שומרי שבת, וקורא עונג שבת. חמדת ימים, אותו קראתו, זכר למעשי בראשית.
ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי, שומרי, שומרי שבת, וקורא עונג שבת.
ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי, שומרי, שומרי שבת,
וקורא עונג שבת.
What a treat. I just ran into him at the door when the service was starting. Rabbi Clumpy, good choice. That was her choice tonight. Perfect choice. Thank you, Chazan. I really feel like our prayers are sealed now. We are ready to stand, right?
Yes. Here we go.
All right, we're going to continue with our Amidah, our standing prayer. We are on page 46. We're going to begin our prayers together and have a moment for silent meditation. All throughout, I invite you to reflect on how you can make amends, how you can bring healing to yourself and others that you love.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Koneh HaKol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב, להושיע, מוריד הטל, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו, לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
We continue privately.
These words are on your song sheet.
May the words of my mouth be acceptable to you. May the path I create, may the actions I take be in line with your divine glory. May the love that I feel be acceptable to you. May the times that I cry, I resist, say goodbye, be in line with your divine glory. יהיו לרצון ומפיעים רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך. אדוני צורי וגואלי, my rock and my redeemer. May the life that I lead be acceptable to you. May the times that I rise, I resist, say goodbye, be in line with your divine glory. יהיו לרצון, may it be your will. 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 יהיו לרצון, יהיו לרצון. May the path I create, may the actions I take be in line with your divine glory.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody, again. And again, Mazel Tov to Samson. You know, Samson's Hebrew name, you know your Hebrew name is Shimshon. Do you know what the nickname is for Shimshon sometimes? Shimmy. Do you like that? Maybe we'll rename you. Samson is one of our, what we call a go-to student. Do you know what that means? I told his mom, I called her during the year and told her, the go-to student is the student we can always go to, the one who is always willing to participate and share a thoughtful answer when he's asked. That's Samson. He's our go-to student. So, Mazel Tov. Tonight I want to share with you a few experiences that have inspired my rabbinate and the work I do. It started around 23 years ago when I attended one of our Southeastern Association of the Central Conference of American Rabbis, which means the Reform rabbis of Florida, Georgia, Alabama. Sometimes maybe somebody sneaks in from Tennessee because we had nice retreats. Anyway, so we're at one of these retreats, and one of the rabbis' wives gave a presentation about addiction in the Jewish community. And it wasn't something I was familiar about, even though my first job from rabbinic school was the campus community, was Go Canes, tonight, first game of the season. But still, I wasn't that familiar with what did that mean. And I learned that night about the alienation and the rejection from many Jewish addicts and their families. The rejection, the isolation, the alienation they felt from Jewish communal life. In other words, they were afraid to come to the synagogue, even if it was a place where they always showed up. And she suggested a very simple addition to our service, which changed my perception of prayer and community and inclusion forever. At the Misha Barach, she said, you can add something about healing for addicts. And so I tried it. And the first time I mentioned addiction and addicts in our Misha Barach healing prayer, I received about 5 phone calls. And all the 5 thanked me for including them or a member of their family in our healing prayer. The phone calls continue to this day. And what was once stigmatized in my last congregation, even speaking about addiction from the Bima, people became uncomfortable, became normal. And people became more and more comfortable sharing their recovery journeys. We brought in Narcotics Anonymous leadership meetings into the synagogue. We know that when people go for AA or NA, where do they usually go? To churches. We brought one into the synagogue. The synagogue became more welcoming, and people began to expect discussions and education programs and prayers about addiction and recovery. But it wasn't so typical for the time in the Jewish community. When I came to Temple Beth Am, I was fairly new here. I came here around the time the opioid crisis started to overwhelm our country. And our community was not spared, and we saw the deadly impact of addiction on our loved ones. We were a synagogue that offered practically every Jewish innovative program for Jews of all ages and all interests. But we didn't have, and neither did the Jewish community around us, we didn't have a Jewish response to addiction, and we were losing people. A few of the members that were involved in the recovery community sat down with me, and we looked at each other, and they were also new to Temple Beth Am, and we said, we have to do something. And so we began the recovery through a Jewish lens. And this program, this idea, strives to end the stigma of addiction in the Jewish community and support those suffering from addiction and their loved ones. We hold a monthly support meeting. If you didn't know, it's in the commentator, it is online. It's hybrid. You can come in person or you can come through Zoom. It's for loved ones of people suffering from addiction. It's for people in recovery themselves. It's for anyone who is interested in recovery to explore Jewish themes, texts, traditions, and see how our tradition has so much to enhance, to strengthen recovery. And while so many people think recovery, and especially 12-step programs, may be not Jewish, we share that recovery is very Jewish. After all, we're in the month of Elul. It is the month of introspection. We will get to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur when we look at ourselves and we check where we are and we see what needs to be changed. Recovery is Jewish. And so now we offer educational and religious programming that destigmatizes addiction and welcomes all those suffering from addiction to participate in Jewish life and in the temple. We have grape juice at Kiddush. We have grape juice now Saturday mornings in Torah study. We have grape juice following Minyan. You know how many times on a Friday night we would hand somebody a Kiddush cup and there would be a reflexive step back and we weren't sensitive enough to see or to know? Each of us know people affected by addiction. They are the children raised in warm, nurturing, and loving homes. They are the children raised in the synagogue. At one program we offered, a young woman shared her story. She grew up here. And she shared that she was popular and she was a great athlete and she had many friends and she had wonderful, loving parents and a great family. But inside, she felt a hole, a void. And she was anxious about her performance in school. She was anxious about keeping up all of the things she had. And so this anxiety led her to a party one night, and like most young people, like most of us, she tried alcohol. And that was the beginning of a very long road for her. We have all heard these stories. They are real and they are here too. So why do we still pretend it's not among us? Why do we still stigmatize and alienate the people we should support with love and compassion? Addiction is a disease that finds opportunities to destroy lives in every socioeconomic and education strata. Intellectually, we know it, but when we see it in front of us, it gives us the creeps. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do, or how much stuff you have. It doesn't matter how old you are, or how young, or even how religious. September 1st. Not only is it Sherry's birthday, but it is National Recovery Month. And this Shabbat, we are participating in the first National Jewish Recovery Shabbat. And as you've heard, it's also Elul. Elul, the month preceding Rosh Hashanah, a time of introspection and preparation. We gave each Shabbat a name during this month. This night we focus on KAPER, atonement, making amends. The Torah portion this week is Ki Tavo. It's found in the book of Devarim, Deuteronomy. It includes a repetition of a set of blessings and horrific curses if we do not follow God's commandments. And at the end of these curses and these blessings, at the end of this rebuke, Moses turns to the Israelites and says, V'lo natan Adonai lechem lev lada'at, ve'einayim le'rot, ve'oznayim lishmoa hayom hazeh. Yet to this day, Adonai has not given you a mind to understand, eyes to see, or ears to hear. Rashi says the verse means that the Israelites do not yet have a heart to understand the loving kindness of God, the way to cleave unto God. That we miss that all through the wilderness, crossing the sea, they miss the idea that God is a God of loving compassion. Do we understand that God's loving kindness extends to those who, because of the disease of addiction, have disappointed us, have hurt us, and hurt themselves? God's loving kindness extends to them. Do we understand that God's loving kindness extends to us with all of our frailties and all of our vulnerabilities? Ad hayom hazeh, until this day, the verse says, until this day we did not know God's abundant love. But now we know, and now we understand God's love is enduring for all of us. Until this day, we might not have heard how the stigma of addiction keeps Jews away from our community, from shame and fear of rejection. But now we heard, Ad hayom hazeh, until this day, we might have looked away from one who is suffering. But now we see them, and they do not look any different from us. There's another beautiful line in this week's Torah portion. Baruch atah b'voecha, u'baruch atah b'tzeitecha. Blessed shall you be in your comings, and blessed shall you be in your goings. Rashi says, we come into this world free of sin, and we can go out free of sin. Kaper lanu, grant us atonement. Baruch atah b'voecha, blessed are we when we welcome those in recovery and those seeking recovery. Baruch atah b'voecha, blessed are you in your comings when we offer compassion, when we offer friendship, when we offer support. Blessed are we who have entered the doors of this sanctuary tonight. May we feel God's blessings in all of our comings and in all of our goings. And together we say, Amen. So tonight we will speak of our Mi Shebarach, may the one who blessed, may the one who blesses our ancestors, bless those in need of healing with a full recovery. And we include thinking about those who need God's perseverance and fortitude to fight their addictions every day. And we ask God's fortitude and perseverance upon all of us so we can give that support. If you are in need of healing, a healing of the body, refuat haguf, a healing of the spirit, the soul, refuat nefesh, and you want to share your name, a name of somebody you're thinking of who will gain from our prayers before we sing this beautiful Mi Shebarach, which is the really recovery. Mi Shebarach includes the words of the Serenity Prayer. If you would like to share your loved one's name, raise your hand high. Rachel? Thank you. Richard? Thank you. Daniela? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody on this side? Yeah, Karen. Thank you. Sherry? Thank you. Anybody back here? Yes. Thank you. Bill? Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai rofeh hacholim. Blessed are you, Adonai, healer of the sick. On your song sheets.
If you are celebrating a birthday this month or even tonight, I want to invite you up to help us open the ark for the Aleinu. Woo! It's not just the high holidays, it's your birthday. Come on up.
Please rise for the Aleinu.
Page 282.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו כחומונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך Ushmo, Ushmo, Echad.
Can be seated. We're talking about recovery and preparing for the high holidays. I recently I was looking at a quote from the Kotzker Rebbe, who says, "There is nothing more whole than a broken heart." And I was reading commentaries about it, and this Israeli woman, forgive me, I don't remember her name, but she said, she told a story about her broken heart. This guy, she thought he was the one. He took her out on this bridge on the boardwalk, and the sun was setting, and he said, "I have to say something." And she thought, "This is it. He's proposing." And that's when he broke up with her. And she talked about how for years, 2 years, she kept trying to recover. And she kept thinking she would be who she was before. And it was only with her rabbi's wisdom that she learned that recovery doesn't mean you go back. You never go backwards. You never become someone you were. You only become someone you will be. So I'm thinking about loss. I have to sign up for insurance this week. Everybody at Bethlehem has to sign up for insurance this week. And my mom worked in insurance her entire career. And I just was like mad that I lost my mom. And you never recover. Or it's not that you never recover. You do recover, but you're never the same. So I'm going to read the names that our community is saying Kaddish for. Please rise when you hear the name of the person for whom you're saying Kaddish, so we can see that you're a little broken, right? Just like me. We say Kaddish tonight for Hugh Bernstein, for Brett Dick. Thank you. We're in the first 30 days of mourning for David Sokol, Michelle Hope Sherry, Daniel Zalkberg, Sam Berkowitz, Glenn Goldberg, Patricia Patty Burke, Maury Lou Tendler. We're in our first year of mourning for Judy Agron, Chaim Aklepi, Lillian Berman, Hayusia Perelman Bernstein, Charlotte Glofsky Brody, Arthur Farkas, Florence Farkas, Linda Frankel, Mitch Friedman, Jocelyn Garoff, Judith Gilbert Gould, Andrew Gross, Dr. Martin Glazer, Dr. Henry Irwin Glick, Jennifer Gross, Joseph Harvest, Dr. Jeffrey Hertz, Sandra Sandy Kramer, Ruth Leshaw, Janice Levy, Phyllis Lieberman, Lawrence Larry Palker, Karen Michelle Solomon, Debbie Sandberg, Michael Schellist, Susan D. Score, Tanya Stern, Bela Malka Marcia Weinstein. And at this time of year, we commemorate the anniversary of the loss for Samuel Abraham, Babette Ackerman, Norton Agron, Ethel Abel, Shirley Antkees, Solomon Aronson, Ray Ben Eunice, Sybil Bernstein, Helen Busen, Amina Bransefort, Rose Cohen, Elaine Cohen, Beryl Donnenfeld, Samuel Eckstein, Saul Erdman, Enrique Eskenazi, Libby Weiner-Fain, Ben Feld, Celia Feldman, Martin Robert Feller, Alexander E. Finger, Sadie Finkelstein, Roger Ives Fishman, Ronald A. Friedman, Joan B. Gallant, Shira Baumgard Garvett, Stanley Goldfarb, Laurel Goldman, Rosa Goodman, Marcia Greenberg, Eunice Jeroff, Marge Guberman, Arlene Halbrick, Sheila Elaine Hellinger, Charlotte May Hoffer, Moises Holtz, Harold Hurwitz, Julius Israel, Joseph S. Jacobs, Nelda Josepher, Sidney Lawrence Kahn III, Dr. Mark Kalish, Meryl Sue Kaplan, Aaron M. Cass, Agnes Clapstein, Erwin Buddy Cott, Phyllis Krug, Lena Krugman, Meryl I. Lamb, Donald Lazare, Saul Levy, Sherwin Levine, Madeline Light, Anna Lipoff, Jane Loper, Alfred Lustig, Robert Marcus, Alice Jean A.J. Melnick, Gloria Milberg, Esta Milheiser, Rose Osman, Gertrude D. Pallett, Reuben Perlman, Abram Price, Lillian Roberts, Alvin Al Rose, Jane Rosen, Estella Rosenberg, Esther Rosenberg, Abraham Rosenblum, Florence Rosenthal, Rose Hancock Rubenstein, Liba Rubin, Belle Ruttenberg, Fred Shearer, Jack Schneider, Spencer Ralph Shapiro, Henry Siegel, Dora Simon, Janice Singer, Samuel Solomon Jr., Elizabeth Betty Soman, Shirley Steen, Jason Wilder, Rose Winokur, and Morton Mike Yeoman. If anybody has a name to add to our Kaddish list, I invite you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Thank you. We take those names into our hearts as we turn to page 294, as we rise as one community joining the mourners with Kaddish Yatom. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divarach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayei zochol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'v'zman kariv v'emru amen. Yehi shemei rabbah mevarach leolam ulmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei tekudesha b'richu. La'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, zalmiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace and comfort to all who are heartbroken and bereaved, and we say, amen. We can be seated. It's my pleasure to invite Judy Cowan to make some announcements tonight and greetings on behalf of the board.
Shabbat Shalom. So during silent meditation, I read a prayer that said, Shabbat should stir us to action. So Rabbi Kleppe, thank you so much for giving us the action of acceptance tonight. And Rabbi Greengrass, the action of knowing when to let go and what to let go of. Cantor Koyo, thank you so much for your prayers that are leading us into the High Holy Days. Billy and Liera and the gentleman sitting behind Billy, thank you so much for adding so much to our service. Mazel Tov to the Stone family, Sampson. Tomorrow you get to become a bar mitzvah. I'm sure that your service will be meaningful to you, and I hope your party is wonderful as well, and I know your family must be very, very proud of you. So mazel tov to you. To prepare ourselves for the high holidays, we have on September 9th, Slichot. It is a free dinner, a beautiful service, and an interactive learning opportunity. You do need to register, however, on TBAM so we know how many people are coming to dinner. There are many things that you can read tonight in your program, so I'm not going to read them to you. But one thing, the Sisterhood book discussion, it says Thursday the 6th. It is Wednesday the 6th. A couple of things coming up in October that are not in the program this evening. October 5th is the Brotherhood opening event featuring Dave Barry. And October 11th, the Sisterhood opening event with Joni Leeds. Joni Leeds is a Beth Am graduate, not from our school, but from our synagogue, who is also a Grammy Award winner. So ladies, not to miss that program. And one other thing that you will see in this month's coming commentator, Breaking Bread, Breaking Biased is October 27th. It's an interfaith, 22nd. Yes, I'm sorry, 22nd. It is an interfaith potluck dinner. It is sponsored by our Unbiased Initiative, and it should be a wonderful, informative evening. So please look for information on that. Thank you all. Mazel tov again. Shabbat shalom.
As we prepare for the end of our service, please rise. O say shalom. Thank you to Max and Patrick, Billy and Liera for the beautiful music. We are so blessed, and to our sound engineer in the back, thank you too. O say shalom b'ramav, Uya say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.